Shane Watson here for PSP Sports. I'm lucky enough to be joined by Frank Buglioni, the British champion at light heavyweight. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you, mate.
Obviously, you got your first defence against Ricky Summers here at the O2 Arena, which you must be well chuffed about headlining such a big arena as well.
It's an honour to be headlining such a big event on a Sky Sports card, especially for my matchroom debut. But one that I'm going to take every opportunity to go out and show my improvements, show the fighter I am now, and to set up big fights for the future as well.
Is your aim to win the title outright? Obviously, you don't want to look past with Ricky Summers, but was it?
I mean, I'd love to win the British outright. It hasn't been won outright for about 25 years. There's some great names on that belt as well, so to be the one that keeps it would be fantastic. So yeah, but if a big fight comes along and there's postponements, and boxing in this game, things always change. So you just have to assess the situation when it arises.
Obviously, another great British name at light heavyweight is Nathan Cleverly.
Yep.
Is that a fight you could be looking at in the near future?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I said I'd love to win the British outright, so that's obviously 3 fights. But if the Nathan Cleverly fight came at an earlier time, or inside those 3 fights, then I'd have to really think about it, because Nathan Cleverly, although he's a good fighter and he's obviously a world champion, good experienced fighter, I think his best days are behind him, and I'm very confident about beating him.
Obviously, he's got his rumours of talk to him fighting Badou Jack at light heavyweight.
Yep.
How would you see that fight panning out as well?
I think it's a close fight. I'd probably lean towards Badou Jack. Yeah, I'd probably lean towards Badou Jack just because he's a little bit more tight, a bit more world schooled. And Nathan Cleverly, we've seen time and time again get dragged into a war and wear his heart on his sleeve, which isn't a bad thing, but can lose your decisions and lose your fights.
I'm not sure. Did you watch the Adonis Stevenson from Farah fight?
I haven't seen it back yet, but obviously I've heard about the result, and Adonis Stevenson got him out of there in good fashion, didn't he?
Is that a fight you'd also be confident in winning as well against Stevenson?
Adonis Stevenson, I'd have to think about that one. I'd probably leave that for a couple of years, just because I want the experience.
Yeah.
So you've got world level and then you've got elite level. But if I had to choose between Adonis Stevenson, Andre Ward and Kovalev, then I'd look at Adonis Stevenson. So there's certainly some big names in the light heavyweight division, and you've got to be sensible about the path you're going to plot, and kind of take the right fights at the right time.
And obviously we saw George Groves fight your former opponent in Trudinov. How do you think George Groves dealt with Trudinov in that fight as well?
I thought he done fantastic, especially when the reports about the broken jaw come out. He suffered a broken jaw in the 3rd round. I thought he had quite a tough 1st and 2nd round as well. So he was certainly up against it, because Trudinov is a great fighter, and he's an underrated fighter. He's got a massively high work rate. He's not a huge puncher, but every punch is hard enough. So George Groves, he dug deep and he did what he needed to do, and credit to him. I rate George Groves as the best super middleweight in the world right now.
So you believe if he has a rematch with James DeGale, he could beat James DeGale as well?
I think he stops James DeGale, just from the way he's improved, and just by looking at James DeGale's past couple of fights, he fades in their middle rounds, and George Groves doesn't now. George Groves comes on strong. So it'd be a very interesting fight. I mean, James DeGale's got great boxing ability, but so has George Groves. And I think George Groves just might be James DeGale's bogeyman. He just gets in his head, and James DeGale can't get past that. So yeah, it'd be a very interesting one, but I'd certainly lean towards Double G. Also,
a little bit on your link-up as well. Obviously, you've had a few fights with Don Charles now. So how's your relationship working with Don Charles and the rest of the boys in the gym?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I've had 2 fights with Don Charles now, 2 wins, 2 knockouts. So we've got a perfect slate, and we intend to keep it that way.
But obviously, as much as it sounds a bit weird, but your style is very similar to Derek Chisora as well, who's obviously a heavyweight. Is that a style that Don Charles implemented into you and helps you a lot with as well?
Yeah, well, I think you've got to find a trainer that kind of suits your style and works to your strengths. And Don Charles certainly does that. I like to come forward. So now he's put in a head movement and a better guard. I like to hit hard, and he's improved my power and my turning strength. So yeah, I think but he's also tweaking quite a few things with the footwork and the jab, and yeah, it's all coming together slowly but surely. Don Charles has also got a second in command in Luke Portania, who's a defence specialist. He's a professional Muay Thai fighter in his own right, and obviously a professional boxing coach, and he's kind of, if you can block kicks, elbows, knees, and punches, then you'll be able to block just punches when it comes to boxing. So yeah, the defence is looking really good.
And what kind of fight are you expecting from Ricky Summers?
I'm thinking he's going to come out and give it his all. This is his cup final, or his world title shot. So yeah, he's going to be the best Ricky Summers that I face. Hopefully the occasion doesn't get to him. I've been on the big stage a number of times now. This is his first time really stepping up live on Sky Sports, fighting for a big title against the best opponent he's potentially ever going to face. So no, he's up against it, and I intend to make it very uncomfortable in there for him.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to PSV Thoughts again today, Frank. I'm sure we'll catch up with you ahead of fight night as well.
Pleasure.
And best of luck at camp.
Brilliant.